This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network in America, and of course, your team every day. My name is Tim Daniel, lifelong Reds fan, and my second season here at Locked On covering the team, and I want to thank you for spending some time with me this Saturday afternoon. Words are hard, as we discuss my iPad not being able to stay still, and the Cincinnati Reds getting a 2-1 win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. On today's show, we have a Noelvi Marte parte with the go-ahead home run. We get huge games from Rhett Lowder and Chase Petty, and the Redlegs win a game they normally don't win. All that and a whole lot more. We will start today with our Locked On Player of the Game, which also will lead to our turning point.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Let's talk about Noelvi Marte, because yes, it's one swing, but it's the swing the Reds needed the most right now. It's a win that they really needed because they could not get a win for a long time. They could not get a win at a rational time before 1:30 a.m. Eastern time in a while, and they did it today. So Noelvi Marte, it's just one swing, right? But that one swing was something the Reds really needed. They had lost their last 4 series. They had really just struggled. I mean, we've been here every day talking about it, right? They just couldn't find a way. And today wasn't exactly a great day, right? They had 3 hits as a team. They didn't draw any walks. They struck out 10 times. They were as undisciplined as they've been all year. They had 1 at-bat with runners in scoring positions today, and they actually went 1 for 1. Shout out Evan Arroyo. I'm going to talk about him in a little bit too. And Matt McLean also at the bottom of the order. But the fact that they just kind of found this way, that they just didn't give up on this game. And there's a lot to go around there. I mean, look, I know we're talking about a 2-1 game. It's not like we're talking about as big 7-6 slugfest where everyone's going back and forth and everything's going right. But, you know, they really needed this one today. Noelvi Marte, second homer in as many days, played center field today, which I'm a big fan of. I'd like to see more of that. I hope that they continue to do that. I know that, you know, I think he's the best athlete that can do that in that case too as well. He moves over to right field later in the game, obviously, when Dane Myers comes in for Nathaniel Lowe. But I absolutely think that this is one they really needed to get. And just that sake, and I think Marte, hopefully, I mean, things are going back up. His OPS is up to 626. I think when he was called back up, it was like 394 or something really bad. So you could tell he's getting back in a groove and swinging the bat much better. And of course, I've already said it. I wrote about this on SI. I said that he needs to play every single day. Last 2 days have shown maybe him playing every single day can do a lot for this team. This is just a nice day that the Reds needed, right? We're not going to act like this is some gigantic day where they got to win. No, they needed a win, and they did whatever they had to do to get a win. So we will enjoy that, and we will take that as well. Which, speaking of Noelvi Marte being player of the game, I think he also earns the right of turning point, correct?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Once again, Noelvi Marte, bottom of the 8th inning. Let's just get really dramatic here. Goes out there in a game that the Reds absolutely needed to have, right? What more could they possibly need from him? But boom, a homer. Puts the Reds ahead. Opposite field at that. You know, I love my oppos. Awesome. Just absolutely awesome for him. Awesome for the Reds. Now a chance tomorrow to end this streak of losing series at 4. Don't let it get to 5. You got Andrew Abbott on the mound. It might just be their day tomorrow to do that. It might just be, but absolutely awesome day for Noelvi Marte in that moment as well. Other guys we got to talk about because there's not much to talk about offensively. Matt McLean and Noelvi Marte and Evan Arroyo coming through. Look at this. The Seattle Mariners trade guys. Arroyo and Marte having big days for the Reds today. Matt McLean gets on with a double to give the Reds their in the bottom of the 3rd. And then Andrew Abbott gets a single that brings him in to tie it at 1-1. And this is, of course, after Arizona started the game with a Corbin Carroll solo shot on like the first pitch he saw off of Rhett Lowder. So that was really interesting. William asks, how do I like Arroyo at shortstop? I don't like him as much as I like Elly there. but I do think he does a lot of really good things there that are really impressive. Lonnie talks about the stretch that Steer made, ADHD kicking in people. But that play was unreal. It saved a throw, but I also thought that Arroyo had really good instincts there. Attacked the ball, made good strides, just offline throw to say it nicely, and Steer makes a great play to stay on the bag. That was really impressive. So no, I still think Elly De La Cruz is the shortstop. I'm very open to Evan Arroyo playing second or third, depending how things shake out for the future. We'll see there, but I did like how he played there today, minus that crazy throw. And of course, next play, end the game, last out, goes to him again. So it was fun to watch, but huge day for the Reds, much needed win. And we've been begging for a game like this where they could just find a little way, right? Just find a little way. And today they were able to do just that. And 2-1 is as little of finding a way as you possibly can. Also, Matt McLean, big hit as well, leading to the first run of the game. You absolutely love that. William asks, who are they sending down? Elly comes back. That's a question for Jeff and Steve, because they'll be able to tell you much better than I will, probably, because that's a tough question. I think Jeff said yesterday he thinks it'll be Will Benson, and I can see that, which makes the Edwin Arroyo thing really interesting to see how that plays out. But neither here nor there. We thankfully are not the Reds ownership that has to make that decision. But one thing that they can definitely agree on is Rhett Lowder looked like Rhett Lowder today. Let's talk about that and more right after this. But first, this episode is brought to you by Cash App. It's amazing how quickly we moved away from cash and checks. Whether it's paying friends back, buying tickets, or splitting a bill, everything happens instantly now. Being able to send someone money instantly, it's one of the things that's become so normal, you forgot how much easier it makes everyday life. If you weren't up to speed already, Cash App is way more than just a safe way to send and receive money with the Cash App card. You unlock a ton of perks without all the hidden fees. Enjoy benefits like exclusive early access to nationwide concert pre-sales, Kendrick Lamar and Sabrina Carpenter to name a couple recent examples, plus discounts on everyday purchases and popular brands you're probably already spending money on. Add your card to your digital wallet to make your money move easier. Now, when you spend at least $500 a month with your Cash App card, you earn green status, which unlocks benefits like up to $200 of free overdraft coverage. If you overdraft unexpectedly, there are no hidden fees. You also unlock higher borrow limits and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places you love to shop. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn interest on your savings. No hidden fees, no balance requirements. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to friends within 14 days. Terms do apply. This episode is also brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos can show up fast. The problem is that finding the right candidate can take a lot more time than most businesses can afford. That's where Indeed Sponsored Jobs comes in. Indeed Sponsored Jobs help you reach candidates who actually fit what you're looking for based on skills, experience, and location. Find the right person who can make all the difference, whether it's building a business or building a winning team. Some of the best moves organizations make aren't always the splashiest ones. Sometimes it's finding the right person who fits exactly what the team needs at the right moment. That's what stood out to me here, and it's the same idea behind Indeed Sponsored Jobs, helping connect organizations with candidates who are the right fit from the start. One great addition can have a ripple effect on everyone around them, say like Sal Stewart getting called up. When you find someone who brings the right skills, attitude, and experience, it makes the entire group better. That's why finding qualified candidates matters so much, and why tools like Indeed Sponsored Jobs can help make that process easier. The best organizations aren't always looking at every possible option. They're focused on identifying the people who truly match what they're looking for. When you spend more time evaluating great candidates and less time searching, everybody benefits. That's exactly what Indeed Sponsored Jobs is designed to help businesses do. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check out all of your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners to this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help you get the job premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And lastly, we're brought to you by Kalshi. Baseball season is here and now. You can trade every game on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every single game. Currently, for tomorrow's game, the Cincinnati Reds are trading at 49% to beat the Arizona Diamondbacks on Sunday. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything. Literally anything. You can trade on draft picks for the future of your favorite league. You can trade on Japanese baseball. You can trade on American baseball. You can trade on the weather. You name it, they got it over at Kalshi. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, go to kalshi.com/regulatory. Want to give a shout out to our everydayers here as we discuss the Reds finally winning a game in rational Eastern Standard Time. Nice to see. If you're also liking my show here, please be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube or your podcast app of choice, where you can not only get my show after each and every single Reds game, but you get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. And don't forget about the Everydayer Club while you're here as well. Go to lockedonreds.supercast.com for $5 a month or $50 a year. You get access to ad-free episodes of all your favorite Locked On shows, and you get access to our Discord chat where you can be in there chatting ball with all of us. How about Rhett Lowder today?
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
Can you believe the day Rhett Lowder had? It was something that the Reds just, I talked about Noelvi Marte and they needed the home run. They did. Boy, did the starting rotation and the bullpen need a day like this from Rhett Lowder. 5 2/3, a 1-run ball, 6 strikeouts. Second batter of the game, the 6th pitch he threw, Corbin Carroll puts over the wall. You're like, okay, this might not be a very good day for him. But settles in from there, looks really good, gives up a couple of hits. You can live with a couple of hits. But buckles down when he needs to. Gets into the 6th inning, which, for a guy who hadn't pitched a whole lot in a while, that's nice to see. Cuts his walks down quite a bit, only has 2 walks today. Let's see what else. He threw 96 pitches, 62 for strikes. You take that as well. I thought this was a really encouraging start for Rhett Lowder. Now, knowing that Rhett Lowder, being the competitor he is, he probably would not be a super fine fan of this kind of an outing. He probably thought, yeah, I left some on the table. I should have finished at 6. I could have been better. And maybe he's right. But today, we're going to enjoy it because it shows that he's getting better and better. We're almost back to him being Rhett the Hitman Hart. It's going to stick. I'm telling you, it's going to stick. I really like it. So huge outing for Rhett Lowder there. And then Caleb Ferguson comes in and is so, right? Only 2/3. Does give up a hit, does have a walk, but does get a strikeout as well. I am really anxious to see what's going to happen with Caleb Ferguson. I know he started off pretty nice and then has that really bad outing the other day. And today was so. Let's see how things go. I really do. I'm optimistic about him. I'm pretty positive in him. But this is going to be really interesting to see if he can kind of get past this little rough stretch because Lord knows the bullpen needs him. Also, hey, how about Chase Petty today? I'm going to play it again.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
It's my show. If I want to play the segment twice, I can play the segment twice, right? Because not only was Rhett Lowder awesome today, Chase Petty was awesome today. And heading in 2/3, does get a strikeout, does give up a hit, but gets the win today. And oh my goodness, comes in, inherits Caleb Ferguson's mess, bases are loaded, he gets through it. Holy moly. Just an awesome outing for him. And that's a kid who I text Jeff and Steve, and I was like, I don't know if the situation with Chase Petty is that he's just not very good, or if he's just always thrown into awful circumstances when he's at the big league team. And today he said, I'm good, Tim. I'm a good pitcher. And today he was. And I think he's earned the right to be in the bullpen because, one, who else are they going to have out there? And two, we know what he brings to the table. Really, really ballsy pitching today, too. I mean, he hits the first guy he faces, he hits, and then he throws that same pitch right after us, Nolan Arenado. Same exact pitch. He hits somebody on, he strikes. He gets a strikeout with Nolan Arenado. Kind of comes back and not to the Chase Burns level of just puts it past him, but thought he really did a nice job and gave them a really, really big, much needed for the sake of the bullpen, for the sake of the baseball team as well. And then Tony Santillan, clean 9th. Okay, Tony, more of those, please. Didn't have any strikeouts, didn't give him big hits. got bailed out by Spencer Steer, who God only knows what happens if that ball gets past him. But Spencer Steer makes that unbelievable stretch to make that play. Look, I just overanalyzed a 2-1 baseball game, but I'm just so happy they won. And I think I saw Jake said this earlier. I'll tell you what I did today, guys, different than I've done in the past. And you guys probably don't really even care about this, but it's fun. Normally, I make sure I'm watching the games. John, I've talked about here a lot. John Sadek's a buddy of mine. I really, really love that dude. But today I was out with the kid. We were in the yard playing, and I listened to the radio broadcast in its entirety today. I just want to do something different today. And listening to Cowboy and Tommy, I've listened to them quite a bit, obviously. They've been here for a while now. But there's just something about today, just listen to those two, just like call the game, having a good time with each other, and just like going through the emotions together, the three of us, and not, it kind of just reminded me of like our grandparents' baseball when they were growing up with. It was fun. I highly suggest it. I obviously love watching the games. I love being at the games. But there's just something cool about being able to just like listen to the baseball game on the radio, just like the olden times. It was a lot of fun. It was really great to see. And also got to shout out our everydayer, Dave Magram, my dude. Every time he comes in here, says, Spencer Steer's my first baseman. And today he backed Dave up. He backed Dave up and said, I got you, man. I got you, because that was an unreal play. But now we close out here today on the postcast as the Reds are winners 2-1 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Reds have 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. The Diamondbacks have 1 run on 7 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher is Chase Petty. He is now 1-1 with a .554 earned run average. Your losing pitcher is Juan Murillo. He is now 1-3 with a .261, and Tony Santillan picks up his 3rd save of the year. And the Reds have a chance to win a series tomorrow on a rubber match at 1:40 p.m. Eastern at Great American Ballpark as Andrew Abbott takes the hill for the Reds. He is 4-4 with a 4.10 ERA. He's been pitching really, really well of late. And he'll be going against Zach Gallen of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who is 3-5 with a .543. And I don't know if you guys remember, in maybe the late last year, Zach Gallen had some choice words to say about the mound at Great American Ballpark and how pitchers there are cheating, even though it's a big homer-friendly park. I would not be upset if Zach Gallen gives up 6 or 7 tomorrow after that. 6-7. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It's a lot of fun when the Reds win. I'm Tim Daniel. Have a great rest of your Saturday. I will see you all tomorrow. Go Red Legs.